Good afternoon, students. Welcome to Rats in Pathology. I shall be continuing with bone and joints. The topics for today are three short notes, and one of this has been asked as a short essay as well. Though rare, these have found place in the various question papers. The first is osteochondroma. Synonym for this is exostosis. Sometimes this also can be asked as a question. It is a question in surgery, orthopedics as well. It is a benign chondrogenic tumor and it is considered to be more of a developmental malformation. It is a misdirected epiphyseal growth of a bony projection with a cartilaginous cap. It grows away from the bone joint. Look at this one. You find that this is a long bone in which I am finding that there is a small growth. It continues to grow. And there is a bluish cartilaginous cap on the top of it, and this is a bony stalk. The common site is the metaphysis of the long bones close to the epiphysis. It initially arises in the epiphysis, but as the bones grow, you find that the tumor is left behind in the epiphysis, in the metaphysis. The affected bones may be showing bowing as well as shortening. This is a gross picture. There are two components over here. A mushroom-shaped cartilaginous component which is shiny, smooth, and it has got a bluish tinge. There is also a osseous component which is the stalk. Cartilaginous cap, bony stalk. And in short, this resembles an articular cartilage. And the bony component is more or less normal. Microscopically, I find that, see, this is the cartilaginous cap. It is composed of mature chondrocytes. That is, you find pairs of cells within the lacunae, and they are all more or less uniform. And lower down, I find that there is a mature bone. Two components are there, and this can resemble a normal joint space. Joint. And the basic defect appears to be in the chromosomes 8 and 11 due to the presence of exostosin gene. This is a radiological picture of an osteochondroma. I find that there is a growth away from the joint space. This is a bony stalk, and this is a mushroom-like expansion of the cartilaginous component. It is usually less than 2 centimeters. When it is more than 2 centimeters, it is prone for malignancy. The clinical presentation, it is usually solitary, but sometimes can be multiple. And in hereditary conditions, it can be so very multiple that it can be found in many sites. Present in adolescents and young adults. The clinical presentation can sometimes be compression of the nerve or the blood vessels. More than 2 centimeters, it is prone for a chondrosarcoma. There can be a bursa formation and recurrence is common. So these are the complications as well. Compression of the nerve, blood vessel, chondrosarcomatous transformation, bursa formation, and recurrence. Two lines of treatment, one is observation, another is a surgical resection. There are some syndromes which are associated with the osteochondroma, namely one, Maffucci's syndrome, in which there are multiple chondromas or osteochondromas, and there is a 100% chance of a malignant transformation. And this was identified by Angelo Maffucci, hence this name. Ollius disease, again multiple enchondromas can be there with 25 to 40% malignant transformation. The third one will be a Gardner's syndrome, which is made up of polyps of the intestine, sebaceous cyst, and osteochondroma. So these three syndromes we shall remember, they can be asked as questions. This is a X-ray of an Ollius disease in which I am finding multiple club-shaped expansions. The next lesion is chondrosarcoma. This has been asked as a short essay as well. The general features are it occurs in a middle age. Males slightly more than females, and the flat bones such as the pelvis over here are prone for it. Otherwise, it occurs in the central skeleton. As usual, I have got a stupid mnemonic. There will be the pelvis, proximal femur, and the proximal humerus, ribs and shoulder. Triple P, Q, R, S. QS got no meaning. Grossly, you find that the tumor can be small from a few centimeters to several centimeters. It can be bulky. See, it is a large lesion over here, and it spreads along broad fronts. It is not finger-like expansions or pseudopod-like extensions, but it spreads along a broad front. It is usually grayish white and there is a pinkish hue. This color tinge is classical of any cartilaginous lesion. It can erode the cortex into the surrounding bone. Microscopically, I find that the tumor cells are anaplastic. Anaplasia means there is a variation in size, shape, etc. Look at these cells, they are all varied in size. In some cases, I am finding multiple cells within the same lacunae. In some, there is a single cell which is large, it has got a prominent nucleolus, and this is the chondroid matrix. Based on the grading, they can be well differentiated. Well differentiated means resembling the normal cartilage. To 4, which is poorly differentiated. We cannot see the normal cartilage. It can infiltrate into the surrounding tissue. Clear cell is a variant. I'll be showing that in the next slide. These are the variants, just memorize them. You will not be able to go beyond that. It can be well differentiated, it can be anaplastic, mesenchymal, clear cell, chondrosarcoma, or de-differentiated. Do not try to find out the meaning of it. It is too complex for undergraduates, but these are the variants. Write this and you get the marks. What is this well differentiated, poorly differentiated and all? This is a normal cartilage. In well differentiated, it will be mimicking this. See this one, you find that the chondrocytes are present in pairs within a lacunae, and this is the matrix. Whereas in a chondrosarcoma, you people can see, you can compare this and this. I am finding multiple large cells, 3 in number over here. Again, it is solitary, and there is a variation in size and shape. A chondrosarcoma. In some areas, there is crowding of the cells. Anyway, by seeing this, you will be able to appreciate the difference. Secondary chondrosarcoma. We have used this term earlier in osteosarcoma also. In osteosarcoma, there is primary, there is secondary. Here, this can occur in multiple enchondromas. Chondroblastoma can become a chondrosarcoma. There can be irradiation and fibrous dysplasia, which can all lead to malignancy, a chondrosarcoma. So please remember these are the causes for secondary chondrosarcoma. Radiologically, many images are there, but a few we can. Here it is a popcorn-like lesion. This is a stick and this is a popcorn. So this is a kind of expansion that we are seeing. Sometimes there can be irregular calcification or punctate lesions. Radiologically, multiple lesions are there. See clinically what is happening. C, PQ, RS. Q we shall omit. C is it is continuous with the bone. P is a palpable mass. Pain can be there. R, only one R. restriction of the movements. Surface is bosselated and it is slow growing. So this is a mnemonic which is quite stupid, but it will help us to remember. And here I find that there is a punctate appearance. In some areas I find that there can be opacities and the tumor is spreading along a broad front. It has got a pushing margin. What is the treatment? The treatment is a wide surgical resection or an excision. Sometimes you'll have to amputate the part that is involved. Chemotherapy has got no role and radiotherapy is palliative. As a supportive treatment you can give. And the prognosis depends upon the size of the lesion, histological grading. A small size and a lower histological grade has got a better prognosis. Location also. Sometimes it can be resected or treated easily, whereas some tumors on the floor of the pelvis or in the vertebrae are difficult to be removed. So this will be the treatment and the prognosis. This is the summary of the chondrosarcoma. I shall not be repeating it again. All the grades, clinical presentation, age, locations, etc. are given. Please go through them. The last question for the day is ABC. I was surprised to find this in your question papers. So I shall just cover it for formality. ABC is aneurysmal bone cyst. So it is a tumor-like lesion of the bone, multiloculated and filled with blood, seen within the first 2 decades of life, and it occurs in the metaphysis of the long bones. Pain and swelling will be the presenting feature. Look at this one. There is an expansile lesion that can be seen. It is osteolytic and there are fibrous septae which are separating it. Sometimes you can see fluid filled spaces in this. This is classical of an aneurysmal bone cyst. The treatment will be curettage. You remove the lesion or rarely there might be a resection which can be required. And this is a gross picture. Multiloculated lesion separated by fibrous septae filled with blood. And microscopically I can see multi-nucleated giant cells, osteoclast like giant cells. See the number of giant cells over here. And this is a fibrous septae and blood filled spaces. This we have already seen the differential diagnosis. It can occur in osteoclastoma, chondroblastoma, brown tumor of parathyroid, etc. So this can be asked as a question by itself. Please do remember ABC. So I have included because the question that I omit is my university question. Mercy.